Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the review of the Market Moves Daily for April 5th, 2019, and also what's coming next in the next few days. Now, we've actually been observing some very cool things, so guys, check this out. Take some good notes. Now, the top three observations for Friday, which was just a boring as hell trading day, okay? Number one was, the common thing when we get the job number is the market is supposed to be moving like crazy. But no, this time it absolutely does nothing. Another day of markets doing absolutely nothing. Now remember what I said in the past few videos is every time we have another day where the market does absolutely nothing, it just gets us closer to the day of the breakdown, especially when it is confirmed by deteriorating charts. So the interesting thing is the job number was strong. So typically over the course of the last year, when we get a strong jobs number, we actually had the market sink lower. And so for those of you that may not understand why would the market drop on good news, guys, it happens all the time. The general correlation is such that when you get a strong job number, it causes the Federal Reserve to think about raising the rates. And it's because of the fear of the raising rates why the market dropped like crazy in the first time over the last year. So very important to understand that there is a switch in the way the market is reacting. So typically a weaker job number would be a positive because it goes with the Federal Reserve looking at the things from the standpoint on, hey, we're not going to raise the interest rates. So this time we have great jobs number and the market actually holds. It actually had like no reaction whatsoever, not to the upside, not to the downside. So that tells us that, yeah, some people were coming in, maybe selling a little bit, but there were no crazy sellers. There were no hedge funds that were trying to come in and unload their positions. So which tells us, look, it's a ridiculous period of ridiculous complacency. Now, some of these things, they come to an end very abruptly, and this could be the case that we see developing here. Now, the third most important observation is some stocks are definitely developing divergency between the price action in the general market and the actual stocks. And a good example is BKNG versus the S&P, and we're going to take a closer look at that in just a second. Now, also, guys, what we're watching next week is TLRY, possible complete unwind and breakdown. And we're going to take a closer look at that chart as well. So let's start with BKNG. This is the main observation from Friday. So here's the chart of SPX. Every time it tries to sell off, it picks itself off. So pretty strong chart. Move one. We'll talk about that in a second. Now look what BKNG does. Remember over the course of the last videos I keep saying, look, the formations of the top, sometimes they will really test your patience. So for those of you who might have been in this BKNG position for some time, look, it just went, try to go higher again at the market open, and then what did it do? Just trend sideways the whole day, try to drop lower, picked itself up one final time before this bigger move lower. Now this move lower, guys, happened really, really fast. Now, notice the timing of the move coincides when the S&P 500 actually was making the final move higher for the day. And that's when BKNG literally lost about $15 in value over the course of like 45 minutes to an hour. So congratulations to those of you guys that exercise the patience and stay with your BKNG positions till the end, because you definitely made money. So congratulations on that. And for some of you guys that are buying these put options in this low VIX environment, if you have a habit of buying put options way out of the money, guys, the direction of the trade was great when we were getting at 1790, 1780 puts. So those made money if you held them through the very end of the day, because the major move in BKNG happened at the very end of the day. Now, for those of you that were buying stuff out of the money, like, I know some guys actually ended up buying 1720, 1730 puts. Those definitely would have not produced any results. So be very careful. We're in a very low VIX environment. Do not buy stuff out of the money or significantly out of the money. Buy stuff in the money or very near the money. This is how the chart of BKNG looks, guys. There's just an overwhelming amount of these bearish candle formations. Look at this. They're all over the board. But not only that is important, but also notice where these bearish reversals are taking place right under the 50-day moving, this blue line right here, guys. So what we're actually saying is in the next 60 days, BKNG could form a death cross. Yes, another death cross, guys. It actually had a death cross on a longer time frame not so long ago and about to make another one. Over the course of the next 60 days, this orange line should cross this blue line. We're going to get another breakdown lower. We can see BKNG, guys, easily trading about 1300 level. So get ready. These trading opportunities are going to be absolutely awesome and insane. There's definitely going to be some crazy money made here. For now, what I want you to focus on is this last red candle. So the market overall had what kind of candle? It had a white or green candle, depending on which software you use, right? So the market had a positive day while BKNG dropped literally on no kind of news. Okay, so the charts continue to deteriorate, not just for BKNG, but some other stocks. And what we've been trading quite a bit lately is TLRY. Now, TLRY, guys, I've mentioned it in some other videos. It really resembles the chart of a Bitcoin. You know, the number one thing when TLRY was hitting all-time highs at $300. It was, you know, you could literally look at the chart of Bitcoin and put it right next to TLRY and resemble identical pattern. If you studied the charts on Diversity course, we described that pattern as a loss of momentum. So Bitcoin lost its momentum about 20,000 bucks. TLRY lost its momentum about 300. And since then, if you were to plug these charts, they look the same. They keep making this lower highs, right? So here's one, and it keeps dropping, and it looks like it's bouncing. Here's another one, and it's dropping. Another one, and it's dropping. Another one, and here's one. And this time, it looks like, even though the market was not doing absolutely nothing on a Friday, TLRY actually was one of our alerts. I mean, we suggested about 61 puts. They didn't make a ton of money, but it was a nice little easy 300% return trade because those 61 puts, I mean, the 60 puts, they were priced for like 9 cents, guys. You could have bought them on Friday for 9 cents, sold them easily by the end of the day, 30, 40 cents. So it was easy, easy trade. But what we're saying, a bigger move is in the making. And that's what we're going to be watching, guys, on next week. Because at this point, this chart resembles the Bitcoin to the point where the next big breakdown in Bitcoin has taken place, which was a move from about 6,500 all the way to 4,000. So if this takes place, we could see TLRY trading in the 40s. Guys, I know some of you are thinking, damn, I saw this stock like not so long ago at like $100, guys. It's going to be trading in the 40s. I'm not sure if it's going to be 42 or 48, but it's going to be in the 40s handle. As crazy it may sound right now. Now let's take a closer look at the market move. So clearly Friday was a move one, okay? Market moved opened higher and moved higher. It was a tricky day because there were times when the VIX was reversing where we noticed some things that the market could really reverse its way. When we notice some sharp moves lower, that tells us some investors are unloading some bigger positions. Otherwise, you don't get huge breakdowns lower like this. So it was kind of a tough trade environment, guys. And the only solution to that is we can just don't trade big position when VIX is so low. Okay, just keep that on the back of your mind. Okay, now some individual stocks like BKNG and TLRY, I mean, you can trade those with bigger positions because their individual charts are telling us an entirely different story from what the rest of the market is doing right now. Okay, now, hey, forgive the noise, guys. I'm traveling. Actually, there's a coffee shop here close by, so you may be hearing some of this. But let's focus on this 2-day sequence. The 2-day sequence is a 7-1. 7-1 sequence. This is how 7-1 sequence looks at the chart. Remember, it resembled the 12. We've talked about it had the behavior of the 12. 7 is what we actually had it recorded, and Friday was a 1. So 7-1-6 once on the chart. 5-day sequence is 1-5-11-7-1. And so this is quite rare because a lot of times, as we examined the last couple of videos, 11-7 would be followed by 2-3. 1 would be an occasion, but when we do have a sequence 11-7-1, then the following day oftentimes would be a bearish move. So we are expecting a bearish move. As complacent as the markets are seeming to be right now, this bearish move could happen at any moment. Now, the magnitude of this bearish move may not be, hugely remarkable. However, this is not the day. Monday is not going to be the day, guys, where you want to buy a ton of calls. So at this point, the markets are maxed out. They're maxed out just like most of people's credit cards in the United States. And so if they did want to go ahead and buy something else on the credit card, guys, chances are they would have to pay something off. The equivalent of that in the market would be they would have to, okay, sell some stocks before they could be buying some more stocks. And so if the number of institutions are selling stocks to get new inventory in their portfolios, then that's why the market is not moving substantially higher. And, clearly, if more of them decide to sell on a particular day, like a Monday or Tuesday, we will get that break lower. So it is coming. So be cautious, be careful. I'll tell you specifically what we're looking for in order to get the confirmation and load up on these put positions. Now, this is how the sequence looks, guys. This 1, 5, 11, 7, 1 sequence on the chart right here for you guys. Okay, now VIX review. Guys, the VIX is still in a severe downtrend. However, it just looks like the bounce can happen at any moment. Now, sometimes you're going to get some crazy moves. This was a move just slightly pre-market before VIX was open, and actually this coincided when the jobs number was released. Now, remember, guys, remember that the initial response is often not your true response to what the market will do in the next 72 hours. So this was the initial response. We are expecting the reversal of that response, meaning that VIX could spike in not so distant future. Now, the conclusion as a result that we're expecting sorry, I got the wrong date here. It's supposed to say Monday the 9th, okay? But we're expecting on Monday either a move 3, 12, or a 6, which 3 is a bearish reversal move. 6 is a bearish reversal move. So you've got some bearish reversal, but 12 is kind of a neutral. It's more of a bullish move, but this is what we're expecting, guys, on Monday. Now, the conclusion is this. If divergence happens again on BKNG versus SPX, add more puts. If Apple and semiconductor stocks begin to sell off, because I'm telling you guys, Apple and semis have been the strongest technology sector. Once we start to see a reversal, similarly to the reversal that we have seen in the cloud stocks, guys, this is how you know that it is time to add some big put positions, okay? So watch Apple, watch semiconductor stocks like NVIDIA and AVGO. When you see these things begin to sell off, get on the put side. So if stocks move higher and lower volume and result in a sell-off, later in the day, like in a move 6, so we're monitoring the market Monday, Tuesday to try to catch an idea whether this move 6 is going to materialize. And what we're watching specifically is we're targeting this move 6 as we're watching for the VIX to break above 14.7 to start buying puts in greater amounts than just the contract or 2. So watch for the big move lower in TLRY shares next week, guys. Get a position at the open. I would strongly suggest getting the position at the open. You don't have to open again a big position, but get a position because the probability of a sell-off is quite significant. So, guys, with that said, I wish you a happy trading week. We're going to keep watching the market, and we'll keep you posted tomorrow to see if we notice any significant deterioration that would cause us to take some larger positions. Guys, have an awesome day. I'll talk to you soon.